In the year 2177, Earth was on the brink of collapse. Oceans had risen, cities lay buried under miles of water, and humanity was desperate. It was a time when technology had reached unimaginable heights, yet it couldn't repair the damage humans had done to the planet. Nations were united in one last project, the Red Sun Initiative, a mission to find a new home among the stars. The Red Sun Initiative was centered around Proxima Centauri, a star with a hauntingly crimson glow, light years away from Earth. Scientists had discovered that one of its planets, Proxima B, held the potential to sustain life. It was an eerie, desolate planet with an atmosphere rich enough for humans, a landscape of rocky terrain, and rivers of strange, dark liquid that looked like water but had an oddly viscous quality. Scientists called it Blackwater. Captain Leon Wexler led the expedition of 1,000 handpicked scientists, engineers, and soldiers aboard the massive ship Solace, the most advanced spacecraft ever built. The crew knew that reaching Proxima B was a one-way trip. The journey would take nearly 10 years in cryogenic sleep, but for the people of Earth, it was worth it. The survival of humanity depended on their success. The crew awoke as the Solace finally entered the orbit of Proxima B. Captain Wexler felt an overwhelming sense of excitement and dread. They were the first humans to set foot on an alien world. As they prepared to disembark, strange anomalies began appearing on their monitors, fluctuations in the electromagnetic field, unusual radiation signatures. The planet seemed alive, watching them. The first exploration team, equipped with biosuits and oxygen tanks, set foot on Proxima B's surface. The landscape was barren, with a blood-red sky cast by the star's dim light. Their steps echoed in the silence. They began collecting soil samples and scanning the blackwater pools that dotted the surface. That's when they noticed that the water wasn't still. Every few minutes, it would ripple, as if something just beneath the surface was moving. Dr. Rafik, the lead biologist, approached one of the blackwater pools. As he bent down to collect a sample, a faint whisper filled his ears. He turned, thinking someone was behind him, but he saw only empty landscape. He shook it off, blaming it on the stress and strangeness of the planet, and continued his work. But the whispers didn't stop. Over the next few days, other crew members reported hearing voices near the blackwater pools. Some said they could hear words in languages they didn't understand. Others claimed the voices sounded like their own thoughts, echoing back to them. Rumors spread throughout the crew that the planet itself was somehow alive, conscious. The situation became stranger when Dr. Rafik began experiencing vivid dreams. He dreamt of Earth in ruins, of people he knew who were long dead. But the most disturbing part was that, in every dream, a figure with red, glowing eyes watched him from the shadows, whispering secrets he couldn't remember upon waking. Then, one morning, he awoke to find a strange mark on his forearm, a symbol that looked like an eye with sharp lines extending outward like rays from a sun. The mark burned, but when he showed it to the medical team, they found nothing physically wrong. Yet, over the next few days, other crew members began discovering the same marks on their skin, all in different locations. Captain Wexler was skeptical at first, thinking the marks were some kind of psychological effect from the planet's isolation. But then she too found a mark, a small red eye etched on her hand. She felt a strange connection to it, like it was pulling her, beckoning her deeper into the planet's mysteries. Desperate for answers, the crew decided to send a research team into one of the planet's deep caves, where the radiation signals were strongest. The deeper they went, the more they felt the presence of something vast, something ancient and aware. The whispers grew louder, echoing off the walls, until they finally reached a cavern that defied explanation. In the center of the cavern lay a massive, pulsating structure, almost like a heart with veins that glowed a faint red and black fluid seeping from its surface. The structure pulsed rhythmically in sync with the crew's own heartbeats, as if it was alive. Dr. Rafik realized with horror that the blackwater was not a part of the planet's ecosystem. It was the blood of this creature, Proxima B itself. Before they could react, the ground trembled and the cavern began to collapse. The team scrambled to escape, but one of their own, Lieutenant Hale, was trapped beneath a capelli. As she lay pinned, the blackwater began to seep toward her, flowing like it was alive. It crept up her legs, covering her as she screamed, her voice drowned out by the whispers. When the others finally pulled her free, she was silent, her eyes vacant. She looked around, seeming lost, but then she whispered in a voice that wasn't her own, "You are not welcome here." She collapsed. And when she awoke, she remembered nothing of what had happened. But from that moment, the whispers grew louder, more insistent, urging the crew to leave. Back aboard the Solace, Captain Wexler tried to piece together what was happening. As she scanned through footage, she noticed something chilling. The red eye symbol had appeared on every crew member in different locations. She realized it wasn't a mark, it was a warning, a brand that labeled them as intruders. Determined to escape the planet's grasp, she ordered the crew to prepare for departure. But as they began the launch sequence, the Solace's systems went offline one by one. Alarms blared, lights flickered, and in the chaos, the whispers became deafening. Then, all at once, the red star of Proxima Centauri shone brighter than ever, casting an eerie glow throughout the ship. Dr. Rafik suddenly gasped as the whispers formed coherent words. We are Proxima, they said. You are but a fleeting moment, a spark in the void. Leave or be consumed. Panicked, Captain Wexler ordered the crew to initiate a manual override. The engines roared to life and the Solace began to rise, but as they broke free of the atmosphere, the planet let out a final cry, a pulse that rippled through the ship, leaving half the crew unconscious. The last thing they saw was the blood-red eye looming over the planet, watching them as they escaped. The Solace limped back toward Earth, scarred and battered, with only half of the crew surviving. Dr. Rafik and Captain Wexler shared an unspoken understanding what they had encountered was not just a planet, but a being older than they could comprehend, a consciousness that regarded humanity as an infection. When they returned to Earth, they gave only a brief report. Proxima B was uninhabitable. They left out the details, the red sun, the whispers, the black water. No one would believe them. And even if they did, it was too dangerous to know the truth. Years passed and the Red Sun Initiative was abandoned. The people of Earth had no idea of the terrifying secret that Proxima held or the ancient entity that watched over its planet like a guardian forbidding entry. But sometimes in the darkest hours of the night, Captain Wexler and her surviving crew would feel an itch on their skin where the mark had been, and they'd hear the faintest whisper, reminding them that Proxima had let them go once but would not be so merciful again.